Hello, this is Brian Hegney, instructor of Game and Interactive Media Design. The next thing we need to do once we added all of the colors is we are going to select everything. Yay, and I'm going to group this together. And I'm going to call this barrel. I'm going to call it barrel. I'm going to call this HP underscore barrel for high poly barrel. I think we'll keep that name. And the next thing I want to do is add the Bend Modifier. You've all been waiting for this. Yay. So I'm going to select this. Now notice I have a group of objects that are not just instanced. Before, when we had a group of instances, I could see all of the different modifiers in the stack. Now I can't because I have these hoops are actually not instances of the staves, which is fine. I don't care. I'm going to click the Modify tab, and I'm going to go down to Bend, okay? Now, what I'm going to want to do is bend this in a particular way. The first bend I want to add is not the bend that applies this in a circle. I'm going to want to give the bend of the bulbousy middle is what I want. So let's just go ahead and set the angle to 30. Now, there's a lot of ways you could do this incorrectly the first time. So this first attempt, the default position is not, or the default settings for the axis and direction are actually not going to help me. And this looks really bad, and it should look bad, okay? So let's say, okay, if the direction 0 and the z-axis doesn't work, well, let's try the y-axis. That actually looks more normal, right? That looks more normal, but it's not exactly what we want. Now we could say, okay, well, let's try the x-axis, and you could say to yourself, hey, that looks like it's going to make a complete barrel. So if I actually set angle to 360, because there are 360 degrees in a circle, like this could work if we wanted to make a really tall, skinny cylinder, but barrels are bulbousy in the middle, and actually that's the thing that I want to do first. So I'm not going to go along the X bend axis. I'm going to set this back to 40. I'm going to go back to the Y axis. Because I just want to point out the other way we can we need to change the direction of the bend along the Y axis. So right now it's bending this way. We want to change it. Now notice when I drag this up to 90, let's actually watch this going in my 4 viewports. Let's watch it in top here, front here, left here, and let's look at it, and let's view zoom extends all. There we go. Okay, I think we can see what's going to happen now. If we change, as we change that, whoops, not the angle. When we change the direction from 0 to 90, what you can see is just the bend changes 90 degrees. And that's actually what we want. Actually, it's the opposite of what we want, because we want these hoops to be on the outside, right? So it actually needs to bend the other way. Exactly tangential from 90 is negative 90. So let's just type in negative there and hit enter. There, that's what we want. And now the bulbousy part is going to be right there. That's perfect. We still want to bend it the other way, though. We want to add a second bend to it. So I'm going to add a second bend modifier to it. And we already know that that bend axis is going to be X. And the angle is going to be 360. And that makes a complete barrel. But you'll note that it's really weird looking. And that's just because we have to make one more change. And I forgot to show you this because I did it in a video I deleted because I made a mistake. I changed the background of my grid. Okay. If you can do that too, if you right click either the 3D snap tool, the angle snap tool, right click that, you can go to your home grid tab. I changed my grid spacing to 150 centimeters because that's how tall I wanted my barrel to be that we looked at barrel sizes, right? I chose 150 centimeters, so I changed that. If I wanted that to be 10 centimeters, right, it would have changed the grid space and I could have counted 15, but I don't want to do that. I just want to verify really quickly 150. Is my barrel roughly 150 centimeters tall? Yes, it is. Okay, so the height is fine. It's just the width is not right. Or the diameter of the barrel belly is not right. Or the top. And you might think, well, maybe I should have added more staves, because that's something I thought at first. But I just want to show you a little something more about this bend modifier. I'm going to go ahead and click the barrel, and I'm going to twirl down this bend modifier. Anytime a modifier has a little triangle there, you can twirl it down and kind of get different things. In this case, I want to get the gizmo. And I'm going to right click into this gizmo. And I can never remember if I need to change it, in which direction I need to change it. Okay, so not the X direction. I need to change it in the Y direction. So not the top. I'm going to come in here and change it in this direction. And I need to just, there, move it. So by changing the gizmo placement, I can create a barrel that looks about right. Okay, same number of planks. It's just the placement of where the bend centroid is going to be different. Okay, there. I think that probably looks right. I could actually measure this if I really got the diameter of the barrel. Like, let's say it should have been 140 centimeters as the diameter. Then I could have gone into my 3D snaps, go to my home grid, change this to 140 centimeters, and say OK. Once I finish moving the gizmo, I can click on the top modifier and move this, and I can say, you know what? Yeah, that diameter is 140. Okay, so sometimes you can use the grid to kind of help you understand dimensions. Okay. And that's good. That's good. That's good. So now we have our barrel. And I think what I want to do is reorganize the barrel so that it's not in this weird position. Like if I right click or select my ortho mode, hit Alt W to make this bigger, click on my little house. I don't want my barrel set up like this. I want it to be upright. So what I'm going to do is I am going to rotate my barrel the way I want it. So I'm going to tap E, and I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees, or negative 90, however you want. And I'm going to tap M, go into my F mode for front, and move this up like that. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the overall. I'm actually going to bake this down in my next step. So I'm going to center my gizmo to the bottom of this. So the way I'm going to do that, we've done this before. I'm going to click on hierarchy, effect pivot only, use the align tool, align it to itself, and say the center point needs to be at the minimum. Center minimum. Oh, and I see, you know what? There's something going wrong with this entire barrel. So this is why I'm going to stop this. And I'm going to make a save. We're going to do a destructive edit in a moment, and that includes reconfiguring this piece. You'll see why in the next section. So I'm going to stop for now, and we will continue soon. Bye!